We asked 847 women over the age of 50 what parts of a man's body they truly pay attention to in men older than 60. The third answer on the list even surprised me. Before you assume it's his chest or his shoulders, take a moment to comment where you're watching from. The fourth body part on this list is something 91% of men completely overlook. Yet it shows your level of personal care even from a distance. And most men only realize this when it's already too late. I will go through all 5 parts, why they matter after 60, and what women are noticing. The fifth point may seem obvious, but the real reason behind it will completely shift how you see your approach to presentation. This is why your physical structure speaks volumes about the kind of man you are. Body part number 5 is your posture, essentially how your spine stays aligned. I know it doesn't sound like a body part, but stay with me because this is something women read before they even focus on your face. 72% of the women we spoke to said a man's posture reveals more about his everyday lifestyle than his overall fitness. When you're standing in line at a cafe, stepping out of your car, or simply walking across a parking lot, women are quietly observing your overall structure. Are your shoulders pushed forward without reason? Is your head jutting out in front of your chest? Does your entire body seem to be collapsing inward? Because after 60, posture can decline very rapidly. Women fully understand this natural change. We're not comparing you to a 25-year-old. Instead, we're asking a very different question in our minds. Is this man still engaged in life, or is he starting to give up? That is the message we pick up. It's the difference between vitality and surrender. I've seen men with impressive physiques, broad shoulders, and clearly defined arms who spend countless hours at the gym, but they walk around as if the world has drained them. Their head hangs forward, their upper back is rounded, their whole presence quietly says, "I'm exhausted and done." And then there's the average man. Maybe a little soft around the middle, but he stands tall. His chin is level, his chest is open, and he moves as if he still owns the space around him. Which one of these two men do you honestly think gets a second interested look? It creates a tremendous difference in how you are seen. The quick, instinctive message women receive is whether you are still fully alive and engaged, or if you have mentally and physically checked out. At 60, 65, or even 70, you don't have the advantage of hiding behind youth anymore. Your physical structure sends a message instantly. The good news is that this isn't something you're born with. It's not about your natural height or your bone structure. It's about choosing to manage your posture and movement instead of letting them slowly deteriorate with time. Make a conscious effort to stand tall. Gently pull your shoulders back and keep your head aligned with your spine. I know it sounds incredibly simple, but most men don't understand how profoundly this one small adjustment changes the first impression they make. Next comes something just as important. Your hands are the most honest body part you have. Body part number 4 is your hands. And I'm not talking about how big or strong they are. I mean the overall condition of your hands, your nails, your skin texture, and your basic grooming habits. Women often call this the truthful body part because you can hide so many other things. You can wear shirts that conceal your belly. You can style your hair to cover thinning spots. You can buy glasses that enhance your look. But your hands? Most men never think about them, so they reveal everything. After 60, aging signs appear on the hands earlier than almost anywhere else. Veins become more prominent, the skin changes in texture, age spots show up. This is all normal and natural. But the real question women have isn't whether your hands look young. It's whether you pay attention to small details or only what you see in the mirror. Taking care of your hands takes barely 60 seconds a week. Trimming and filing your nails, pushing back the cuticles, and basic upkeep. Yet, most men ignore it completely. I'll be completely honest with you. I've been on dates where a man's hands were the reason I immediately knew I wouldn't continue seeing him. Not because his hands were rough or weathered from work. Working hands can actually be very attractive. Calluses earned from lifting weights, building things, or doing real physical work send a strong message of activity, and that's a very positive sign. But neglected hands, uneven nails, dry, cracked skin, and cuticles that clearly haven't been touched in months send a different message. They show a man who doesn't pay attention to details. And if he ignores something so easy to notice, what else is he choosing to overlook in his life? There's a significant difference between hands that work hard and are still cared for, and hands that are simply abandoned and forgotten without any effort. Here's the part most men misunderstand. Hands that look overly polished can also be a negative sign. If your hands look more perfectly maintained than mine, it signals a different kind of issue. It suggests you might be trying a bit too hard, maybe even appearing desperate. Women can sense desperation very quickly. The ideal balance is simple: clean, trimmed, and properly cared for. Not fancy, not overdone, just clear proof that you still manage yourself and your appearance. At your age, life has taught you that small details matter. Your career taught you that. Your relationships taught you that. So why ignore something women see every time you hand them a menu, shake their hand, or reach for something? Hands are simply about steady upkeep. Body part number 3 is connected to vitality, and an impressive 84% of the women in our survey rated it far more important than muscle size. The neck and jawline reveal a surprising amount about your health. Body part number 3 is your neck and jawline. Before you think, great, another thing I can't fix, pause for a moment. This isn't about having the sharp jawline you had in your 30s. Women are realistic about aging. We know exactly how 60, 65, and 70 truly look. The goal isn't perfection. It's visible, ongoing effort that shows you still take yourself seriously. After 60, fat naturally accumulates under the chin. Skin loses elasticity. The neck muscles slowly weaken. This happens to everyone, but some men fight it while others simply let it happen. And women can spot the difference from across a room. There's a clear difference between a jawline that still has definition and one that fades into the neck, and between a neck that still holds shape and one that has almost disappeared. We're not searching for youth. We're searching for signs of self-discipline. Because your face is the first thing people look at and the thing they look at the longest. Yes, genetics play a role. Some men naturally store more fat in their neck area. Some men are born with stronger jawlines. But steady effort always shows. Your overall body fat level matters more here than anywhere else. Lose just 5 pounds and your jawline becomes clearer. Lose 10 and suddenly you have real definition where nothing existed before. You don't need visible abs, you simply need a neck that hasn't vanished. Strength training helps tremendously, especially big compound movements that engage your back muscles. Deadlifts, rowing variations, and pull-ups if you can do them safely. These movements strengthen the deeper muscles that support your neck's shape and position. And the position of your neck connects directly back to body part number 5, your posture. If your head is always pushed forward, your neck practically disappears. But when you keep your head centered over your spine, your jawline becomes visible again. At your age, you have clear advantages younger men don't. You understand what discipline looks like. You've built careers, raised families, and handled long-term responsibilities. Using that same steady effort to improve your neck and jawline is simply applying knowledge you already possess. This process takes time. You need at least 3 to 6 months before real visible change appears. But that time will pass no matter what, right? You may as well choose improvement instead of decline. Let me share a quick example. Marcus, age 67, lost 12 pounds in 4 months and added daily chin tucks and posture work to his routine. He didn't do anything extreme. Within 1 month of hitting his goal weight, 3 different women approached him at a large art event. His exact words were, "I didn't realize how much I had let myself go until I saw the difference." Now let's talk about something surprisingly important, your forearms. Body part number 2 is your forearms. Many of you might think, seriously, why forearms? Yes, forearms. They're visible in almost every social situation. Short sleeves are common. People roll up their sleeves when reaching for something, paying for something, or opening a door. Women constantly see your forearms, and we interpret them in a very specific way. Here's the part men don't expect. Most men spend hours in the gym doing curls and pressing exercises, building the upper arms and shoulders, which actually rank 4th and 5th on this list. Meanwhile, the forearms are ignored and forgotten. That thinking is completely backward. Women aren't checking your forearms for aesthetics. We're looking for proof of capability. Strong forearms signal competence, real-world usefulness, and ability. Can you lift something heavy without effort? Can you fix something broken? Can you handle physical tasks confidently? This is a fundamental instinct we look for. It represents functional strength, and it shows more in your lower arms than anywhere else. The common mistake is relying on isolated gym exercises like wrist curls. They seem useful, but miss the real point. Do you know what actually builds impressive forearms? Using your hands consistently in real tasks, carrying heavy grocery bags, doing yard work, farmer's carries, or simply hanging from a pull-up bar for as long as possible. Real practical tasks that demand steady grip strength are what truly develop your forearms. And the great thing is that after 60, your forearms respond better to training than almost any other body part. You're not battling the major hormone drops that affect chest or upper arm training. Grip strength depends mostly on nerves and muscles, and both can be improved well into your 70s and beyond. Visible veins also matter. Not the huge bodybuilder ones, but normal, defined vascularity. It instantly shows vitality, circulation, and robust health. Women notice this immediately. To be honest, I've been more drawn to a man's forearms than his face more than once. There's something deeply attractive about capable, active hands connected to firm, defined forearms. It doesn't follow logic. It's not a checklist. It's a powerful, instinctive reaction. And here's the part that surprises most men. Achieving this look requires zero special gym sessions. If you approach it the right way, pick up truly heavy items, carry them farther, use your hands for real tasks instead of scrolling your phone, your forearms will naturally grow stronger and more defined. But most men obsess over the big muscles they only see in the mirror: chest, abs, biceps. Meanwhile, they ignore the body parts women actually observe in everyday life. Women look at the parts that show usefulness, capability, and engagement. Forearms communicate all of that without you saying a single word. But body part number 1 is the feature that most loudly reflects self-respect. And it's also the easiest thing to ruin or overlook without realizing it. Your eyes and your overall expression are the real mirror of self-respect. This is the moment to stop shrinking yourself and stop playing a smaller role in life. You have the intelligence, the wisdom, and the life experience. Now it's time to give yourself the respect you fully earned. From this moment on, everything begins with your eyes and the way you express yourself. Your eyes aren't just tools for seeing the world. They are the tools that show the world who you are. They display seriousness, purpose, and inner strength. Here's the truth you must understand. You can begin this change right now by shifting how you think about yourself. Start by taking control of your physical presence. Stand taller, walk with intention, move like a man who knows where he's going. This quiet confidence spreads through your entire body and becomes part of how people experience you. When you walk into a room, you're not just entering quietly. You're sending a clear message. I am here, and I have something valuable to offer. Now let's be honest about the difficult part. You may be thinking, I'm too old to start this now. That thought is completely wrong. You're actually the perfect age to begin. You've lived long enough to know what matters and what doesn't. You've earned your place in this world. And at 60, 65, or 70, you're not competing with others your age. Many of them have already stopped trying, but not you. This is your chance to rise above the ordinary. Don't let yourself become stuck by overthinking the process. Your biggest challenge isn't your age, it's self-doubt. Remove that doubt right away. Commit to taking action. You don't need to change your entire life overnight. Begin small. Stay present. Smile more genuinely. Keep your head level and lifted. This is about showing the world, and most importantly, showing yourself, that you still have so much to give. Remember this clearly. You carry experience most people don't have. You've lived fully, learned constantly, and overcome major battles. So instead of focusing on the past, direct all your attention toward the present moment. What is ahead of you is what truly matters now. Here's the core message you must keep with you. Your eyes and the expression behind them reveal your self-respect. Own this fully. Move through life with intention. Do not delay this shift. Begin now. Earlier, I mentioned that 85% of men your age have already stopped improving. Now you understand why you're different. You're exactly where you should be. It's not too late. In fact, this might be the ideal time in your life to take bold control of your future. We've talked about changing your mindset, understanding yourself more deeply, and improving how you move through the world. You've learned that confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up with purpose and taking your rightful space. And we've made it clear that age isn't the barrier. Starting is. You might be in your 60s, 65, or 70 plus, but that's not a limitation. It's a powerful advantage. You carry decades of knowledge and experience that younger men don't have. You've survived hardship and came out wiser. Now it's time to use that strength for the next important chapter of your life. This is where you create meaningful, lasting change for yourself. If you're serious about improving, follow this channel. This resource is fully focused on giving you practical tools to keep progressing and avoid stagnation. I post new videos every week with information to help you stay sharp and fully in control of your life. Click the notification bell so you never miss one. And always remember this truth: age is just a number. Discipline is what lasts forever. You've already taken the first steps by focusing on your posture, hands, jawline, forearms, and expression. These are the outward signals that show your inner confidence. But women don't stop at physical appearance. We pay attention to something deeper. That next factor, number 6, separates men who surrender to age from men who use age as power. It's subtle, it's mostly behavioral, and you can change it right away. The 6th factor is your voice, your cadence, and your volume. Women often call it the command signal. It doesn't matter how good your posture is or how well your hands are groomed if your voice is too soft, shaky, or fades at the end of each sentence. After 60, many men start speaking quietly, too fast, or swallowing their words. This usually isn't physical decline. It's a long-developed habit of stepping back or resigning yourself. It immediately signals hesitation, low confidence, or even the belief that your words aren't worth attention. Women notice this instantly. We're not looking for a loud or aggressive tone. We want presence. We want a voice that sounds steady and grounded, a voice that fills the space naturally without yelling. Think about the men you respect, the leaders, the ones who run meetings confidently, the men who seem naturally comfortable in their own skin. Their voices share a certain deep quality. They speak clearly.